In a world where it feels like every headline is about AI taking over or tariffs changing overnight or just general economic weirdness,
Mm-hmm.
it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of business is actually, stable, solid?
Yeah, it's a question we hear a lot. That old feeling of business security.
Yeah,
It feels like it's shifting under our feet.
exactly. And that's why we're diving deep today. We got some really interesting material from one of you, actually, about what we're calling safe franchises.
Ah, okay. Interesting angle.
Yeah, so forget the super trendy stuff for a minute. We're talking about franchises that solve real local problems, the kind needing actual skilled people, offering services people need again and again,
Oh.
and that human touch.
Right, the ones that sort of hum along steadily, almost regardless of the big global headlines or the latest tech craze.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's our mission for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Let's really unpack what makes these safe franchises tick. Why are they so resilient, especially now?
Okay, good plan. The source material gives us a good framework, I think.
It does. So let's jump in. Where do we start with defining these safe franchises?
Well, the material lays out a few core traits. First up, AI resistant.
Okay, AI resistant. That sounds pretty self-explanatory, but what does it mean in practice?
It really boils down to needing a human, physically present, doing skilled work. Like you said, AI isn't going to fix your burst pipe.
Right. Or give your dog a haircut. It needs that hands-on skill, the judgment calls only a person can make.
Precisely, that physical capability. Then, the second trait is tariff proof.
Ah, okay. Relevant right now. Why is that so important?
Well, with all the uncertainty in global trade, relying heavily on imported stuff, that's risky. Tariffs pop up, supply chains get snarled.
We've all seen that.
But these safe franchises, they tend to be local operations, local labor, local materials mostly. They aren't sweating that container ship stuck somewhere.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Less vulnerable. What's next? Recession resilient.
Yeah.
That sounds like the holy grail.
It's definitely a big one. The idea here is they focus on needs, not just wants.
Okay, needs versus wants.
Yeah. So even if people tighten their belts, they still need the furnace fixed, they still need certain health services, businesses still need their essential cleaning or maintenance, demand stays, well, more stable.
Right, because it's essential. It's not like cutting back on, I don't know, fancy coffees.
Exactly. And linked to that is the fourth trait, recurring revenue.
Okay, so repeat business.
Exactly. Think long-term contracts, regular maintenance schedules, subscriptions, lawn care every week, commercial cleaning every month. It creates a predictable income stream.
Yeah, that sounds a lot less stressful than constantly chasing the next sale. A stronger foundation.
Definitely. And the last main trait they highlight is being staffable and scalable.
Meaning?
Meaning the owner isn't just buying themselves a job they have to do forever. The model allows them to hire, train, manage a team.
Right, so they work on the business, not just in it all the time.
Precisely. Build systems, maybe even open more locations. It's about building an actual asset, not just a paycheck.
Okay, those 5 traits, AI resistant, tariff proof, recession resilient, recurring revenue, and staffable scalable, that gives us a really clear picture.
Yeah, it's a solid framework.
So let's dig into some specific categories that fit this mold. The source material, and actually our listener interest, really points towards home services as a prime example.
Oh, absolutely. Inherently AI resistant, right?
Primarily. Like we said, you need a person for plumbing, electrical work, HVAC, heating and air conditioning.
Think of big mechanicals.
Yeah, and then all the other stuff. Lawn care, keeping pests out, cleaning gutters, fixing the roof, waterproofing basements.
Garage doors, fences.
Right, even disaster restoration, fire, mold, water damage. That takes real people, real skills.
And often it's urgent, isn't it? Like if your heat goes out in January or a pipe bursts, you need someone now. An algorithm isn't showing up with tools.
Ha, definitely not. And it's so inherently local. Your local plumber doesn't care much about global trade wars, right?
It's not directly, no. Their focus is the neighborhood, the community.
And the source mentioned that potential for semi-absentee ownership in some of these. That links back to the scalable idea. Manage the team, the strategy, not necessarily swing the hammer yourself forever.
Yeah, that's appealing for many people looking to build a business, not just buy a job.
Okay, moving on. Another area with strong interest is health, wellness, medical, and fitness. Big category.
Huge, and driven by some major trends, like the focus on well-being generally, but also demographics.
You mean the aging population?
Exactly, especially in the U.S. That's driving massive demand for senior care, specifically. And that kind of care, it's built on empathy, trust. Things AI just can't replicate when you're talking about looking after someone's parent or grandparent.
So true. What else falls under this big umbrella besides senior care?
Well, you've got the non-medical side of senior care companionship, help with errands, hygiene.
Daily living stuff.
Right. But also skilled nursing in the home,
Yeah.
physical therapy, occupational therapy, even specialized clinics like for speech therapy or, say, autism support centers.
And then the wellness and fitness side.
Yeah, things like boutique fitness studios focusing on specific workouts, massage therapy franchises, maybe places focused on stretching or recovery. It's
Yeah.
broad.
And the recession resilience factor here. Healthcare needs are pretty constant, aren't they?
Generally, yes. Many health services are necessities, sometimes covered by insurance or government programs, which adds stability.
Mhm.
Plus, you're dealing with licensed professionals, nurses, therapists. That human connection, that trust, it's critical. It's not easily replaced.
Makes sense. And even on the fitness wellness side, while some of it might feel discretionary, the overall trend towards prioritizing health makes it stickier than, say, pure entertainment spending.
Agreed. Okay, another big one, especially relevant to families, child services.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The old saying, parents will always spend on their kids.
It holds pretty true, even when times are tight. So franchises in tutoring, test prep,
Always in demand.
STEM or coding centers, sports programs, dance studios, martial arts, even things like pediatric occupational therapy. These tend to be quite resilient.
Why is that, fundamentally?
Well, there's a huge emotional component for parents, right? They see it as investing in their child's future, their development.
Yeah, it feels essential, not optional.
Exactly. And again, it's usually in-person instruction, skill building. AI isn't teaching a kid karate or providing nuanced tutoring effectively. Plus, minimal supply chain worries usually.
Okay, good point. And
Good.
sticking with that theme of care, pet services. That's another area people seem passionate about.
Definitely passionate. People treat their pets like family and they spend accordingly.
Guilty as charged.
Ah,
Yeah, so think about grooming franchises, doggy daycare, pet training centers, mobile vet services, even things like pet waste removal services.
the source called it the AI-proof human-animal bond. Kind of sketchy.
It is, and it's
Mhm.
true. That emotional connection drives spending. It might seem discretionary, but pet owners are loyal.
Very loyal.
And again, it's local demand, usually low material costs involved, and you can often build recurring revenue through memberships or regular appointments. Think regular grooming, daycare packages. Yeah, subscription models work well there. Okay, so we've hit those key areas of interest. What other safe categories did the source highlight? Maybe briefly touch on them.
Sure. Property and facility services. This is more the B2B side, but also residential.
Like commercial cleaning.
Exactly. Commercial cleaning, pressure washing, junk removal, painting, flooring installation, general facility maintenance for businesses, stuff that always needs doing to keep properties up.
And those B2B contracts provide that recurring revenue we talked about.
Precisely. Regular, predictable work, mostly local labor too.
Okay. What about automotive services? Cars are changing, right? EVs?
They are changing, but people are still driving. And cars, electric or not, still need maintenance.
True. Tires, brakes.
Yep, tires, brakes, washes, detailing, maybe windshield repair, fleet maintenance for businesses.
Yeah.
The need for car care remains, even if the type of care evolves slightly. It's local, consistent demand.
Got it. And the last couple, something about B2B and waste.
Yeah. Commercial B2B services. These are often the essential behind-the-scenes things.
Yeah.
Uniform rentals, linen services for restaurants, commercial kitchen hood cleaning.
Stuff you don't think about unless you need it.
Exactly. Document shredding, equipment maintenance, often driven by contracts, sometimes even regulations, very stable.
And waste, recycling, and environmental.
Believe it or not, trash is a very stable business. Junk removal we mentioned, but also specialized recycling, used oil, tires, grease collection, e-waste. It's essential infrastructure, resistant to AI and recessions, often contract-based.
Wow, okay. That covers a lot of ground.
Yeah.
So these categories seem promising. They fit the safe criteria. But how does someone actually find the right specific franchise within these categories? It's not like they're all created equal, right?
Absolutely not. And that's where the source really emphasized the value of getting some guidance, specifically working with a franchise consultant.
Okay. Like the person mentioned in the source, George Knauf.
Exactly like George Knauf. The point is, these categories are a good starting point, but finding the right brand for you, your budget, your skills, your goals, that's crucial.
So what does a consultant like George actually do for you?
Well, according to the source, they act as a matchmaker, really. They understand your situation, finances, experience, what you're looking for lifestyle-wise.
Okay.
Then they use their insider knowledge of hundreds of franchise brands, the good, the bad, the up and coming, to give you targeted recommendations, things you might never find on your own.
So they narrow down the field.
Significantly.
Yeah.
And they help you avoid pitfalls, maybe steer you clear of brands that look flashy but don't have good support, or markets that are already too crowded.
That sounds valuable. What else?
A huge piece is validation. They help you connect with actual existing franchise owners of the brands you're considering.
Ah, so you get the real story.
The real scoop: what's it really like day to day? Is the franchisor supportive? Would they do it again? That's invaluable intel. They can also help you understand the financials, navigate funding options. It's comprehensive support.
Okay. That sounds incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
But what's the catch? What does that cost the person looking for a franchise?
Well, here's the kicker, and the source was clear on this. It's typically free for the person looking.
Free. How does that work?
The franchise companies, the franchisors, pay the consultant's fee if you end up buying one of their franchises through that consultant. It's like a referral fee for them. So you get all that expertise and guidance at no direct cost.
Wow. Okay, so it's a no-brainer to at least talk to someone then.
Pretty much. The source specifically mentions, contacting George Knauf for a free franchise matchmaking service. It's a way to leverage expert help without any upfront cost.
Right. So tying this all back to our listener, the learner, who wants to get up to speed quickly on solid opportunities.
Yeah, the big takeaway seems to be shift your focus. Look at fundamental needs, look at local services, look at businesses built on human connection, whether that's person to person or even person to pet. That seems to be where the real stability lies right now.
It's less about chasing the next big thing and more about, well, solving everyday problems reliably.
Exactly. It might not always be the sexiest business on paper, but the resilience comes from that consistent fundamental demand. Understanding why these sectors are less affected by AI, tariffs, recessions, that's the key insight.
Yeah, it definitely offers a different lens, a more grounded perspective on finding a business opportunity in, let's face it, pretty uncertain times.
It really does.
And that brings us right back to that final thought from the source material, which I thought was really potent.
Which one was that?
When others are chasing fads, the smart money is going where AI can't go, where tariffs don't apply, and where recessions can't break demand.
Yeah, that nails it, doesn't it? It sums up this whole idea perfectly. Look past the noise, focus on the fundamentals.
It suggests a much sounder path, potentially more rewarding in the long run, even if it's not the flashiest.
Absolutely.
So for you listening, we really hope this deep dive into safe franchises has given you some food for thought, maybe sparked some ideas about categories that resonate with your own interests or skills.
Yeah, definitely something to consider if you're exploring your options in today's world.